Yeah, glitch the guarantee. E&E. With your boy shit. Glitch, nigga. Shit, I'm about to flood the streets like when the levees break. Criminal minds, my Garcia can navigate. Flowing while I'm blowing this gas. Nigga, no brakes. Niggas not seeing me ever. I mean, no dates. Fuck around and end up gone. You getting misplaced. E&E, the shit that I claim. You dealing with grace. Took over the game by storm like Rain's mixtape. Thankfully, I've been up in smoke like my mixtape. Counting cheddar shit, I'm about to make a grilled cheese. Niggas be faker than bad bitches with good weeds. On my John Wick shit like Keanu Reeves. Replacements won't be enough, you need the whole team. I've been a G since I could finish my ABCs. Kept it a buck so real niggas look up to me. This butcher boy shit get crazy. When it's sick of me, I'm coughing out these dope bars till they sick of me.
Can't get rid of me, still can't find a remedy. Still blowing palmers, if it comes to Hennessy. E&E, we own our shit independently. When I go out on a limb, I take extremities. I can see right through transparency. Heard their self-esteem low, insecurities. Now or never, like glitch the guarantee. What's the recipe? King L's Reflection 3. All these chapters in my life, you can turn the page. Books can't tell you my story, gotta live a day. Glitch got my back, yeah, you can copy that. Man, we control the seat, you can copy that. Leave your whole state red like Republicans. Putting fire on the track, now it's bubbling. Put your boys E&E, you in trouble, kid. Add first 100 mil, you can double it.
Let's go, let's go. All the hustles getting money. Let it show, let it show. Automatic nigga, how we get the dough. Get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Gotta go. Put your boy shit, nigga, let's go. Let's go. All the hustles getting money, let it show. Let it show. It's automatic nigga, how we get the dough. Get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Gotta go. Put your boy shit, nigga, let's go.
Blow sick, corona, jealous in the motherfucker. Can't even take a step, that's how far I trust you. This black boy turned to shining king under pressure. West side fat jacks, I took more to measure. Shave the extras, that's business, starter fees. Street blues, what I talk, royal blood flowing free. Power on my mind, knows the gang is kind. Read between the lines, it was in my eye. If they ain't got real lines, it ain't hard to spot a counterfeit. Undefeated, ultra real, Fern Gully Mountain shit. Couple hot shots, turn on the frozen margaritas. Even better when it's served with some flawless features. Next year they gotta pay for these flawless features. Flawless victories from the flaws that they teach us. Now my flow imitate how I board the plane non-stop. The little J gon' take over when my time stops.
Yeah, I get right to it. My nigga, we beg your pardon. We putting niggas back in boxes. Yeah, they do harder. My flow be retarded. Sick, I need hella help. My groove came back. This must be how Stella felt. We just started kicking it like a yellow belt. We all made it to the pros. This is how LaMelo felt. You better yell out help. Here comes the double team. You catch me in the spot, then you know that the boy is clean. The Louis V look mean with the magazine. So if you try it, you get shot. No vaccine. If you was asleep before I came, then I'm the caffeine. I pull the jokers out the deck. Yeah, there ain't no laughing. In CEO fashion, we sticking to the business. Wouldn't even let a vegan knock me off my chicken. Something about the BBS when the sun is hitting. Should be flashing like the lights when you getting
Let's go, let's go. All the hustles getting money, let it show. Let it show. It's automatic, nigga, how we get the dough. Get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Gotta go. Put your boy shit, nigga, let's go. Let's go. All the hustles getting money, let it show. Let it show. It's automatic, nigga, how we get the dough. Get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Gotta go. Put your boy shit, nigga, let's go.
Yup. It's your brother, your brother, Virgil Berry, a.k.a. Stacks with the facts. Once again, we are back, Jack. Sadly, though, today, I just felt compelled to talk about this, man. I was just going to do a pre-recorded, but I said, I won't do a live stream, man. This is very important, man. First of all, rest in the essence to Haley BUZBEE. Rest in essence to the young lady, Haley BUZBEE. Very unfortunate thing that happened to her. Very, very unfortunate thing that happened to her. Prayers go out to her family. her loved ones, her friends, her community. This guy, Tyler Thomas, clearly is being presided over by very sick, demented entities, clearly, right? But it also shines light on the thing I think we need to really pay attention to is not only how popular and how big online gaming has become in totality, specifically amongst the youth, and also this online gaming communities and streaming services are being used as conduits to, you know, coerce children into very nefarious, I would even dare say demonic situations, right? This is so sad. Y'all heard about this, man? Shout out to everybody on Facebook. Shout out to everybody on TikTok. Everybody tapping in on YouTube. This is such a sad, fortunate situation. Such a beautiful young lady. She was only 17. My daughter is 16. My daughter will be 17 in like 34, like 45 days. And I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, like, God damn, man, my baby girl's about to be 17, man. And I could just imagine what her parents is going through. Jen does a little online gaming, right? But I would like to think that the relationship I have with my daughter, that she would bring something to not only my awareness, but her mother's awareness as well if anything weird happened online. But from what I understand, Jen doesn't do the Minecraft or the what's the other one? Roblox. She don't mess with the Roblox no more, but she would mess with the Minecraft. When all that weird stuff started coming with Minecraft, I think Jen intentionally on her own stopped messing with it. Now, is she still messing with it? I don't know, but that's something I'll have to talk to her about. But from my understanding, she chose to not mess with them on her own once it became very public that that stuff was going on. She said I asked Jen all the time. You know, I talk to my daughter. We have a very open relationship. She can talk to me about things. I say, Jen, as much as you play Roblox, as much as you play Minecraft, you ain't never came across no freaky stuff like that. And Jen, I believe my daughter. My daughter ain't never lied to me before that I know of anyway. She told me she ain't never come across. I mean, I believe her. I think if she did, she would have said something to me, especially if I asked her. But, you know, just to avoid for it being a possibility for herself, I think Jen just decided to just get rid of it and just stop messing with it, you know? So, you know, but I'm just thinking at the age of 17, this little girl, Haley, she's a young lady, and she somehow got coerced into, you know, meeting up with this guy offline, you know? And any space online where kids have access to, right? You got to be very you got to be very I don't want to say weird. Don't be weird. You got to be very vigilant. That's the word. You got to be very vigilant, man. Right? Yeah, on True by Myself was good. Online gaming is getting out of control, man. It is. This is not the first time. This might be the first time something of this magnitude didn't happen, but this is absolutely not the first time that somebody done sit up here linked up with somebody offline where a young girl was coerced from an older guy offline. They got whole Dateline shows for it and everything. So I'm not saying like it's like okay. I'm just saying this ain't the first time that somebody then lost their life due to this type of situation. It ain't gonna be the last, but it might be the first that we hear of such a very evil, demonic way for our young sister to go. She was only 17, and for this guy Tyler Thomas, this demon, right? Because I'm gonna just say what it is, man. You understand what it takes for you to dismember somebody? That's not normal human behavior. Normally, humans would only unalive another human if their life is in danger and it was in protection of themselves. You know, and just wake up with the thoughts of just offing people. All right. Such a sad situation. And this girl, Haley, is not from Columbus. I think she's from Indiana, right? If I'm not mistaken. We're about to go to the video real quick. We're about to get to it. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, man. It's a very unfortunate situation, man. You know, this is just crazy, man. You know what I mean? The young lady, man. Right? And whoever this Tyler Thomas dude is, he got some money enough to have. He got properties here in Columbus, one in somewhere else in Ohio and in Indiana as well. So it's crazy, y'all, man. This is wild, man. Right? That's the essence of this little girl, man.
Tyler Thomas now locked up here in the Franklin County Jail, charged with pandering sexually oriented material involving a minor and tampering with evidence in connection with the disappearance of this Indiana teenager. And tonight, Thomas's attorney telling us he is preparing for murder charges to be filed.
She was amazing. She was so sweet inside and out.
18-year-old Venus Miranda remembering her first cousin, 17-year-old Haley BUZBEE, whose body was found in Perry County Sunday, nearly a month after Haley disappeared from her suburban Indianapolis home.
She lit up every single room that she walked into. She was truly an angel on earth. She was so sweet.
State of Ohio versus Tyler Thomas.
39.
Look at this dude, man. Look at this guy, man. He looked like he got at least 7 to 12 different entities just residing and abiding within him, as well as presiding over him. Right? You can look in this dude's eyes and you can tell that, you know, something ain't right with him. Right? But these are the type of guys that peruse online streaming services and platforms that are garnered and geared around online gaming, where most children are nowadays. You can go to any online streaming platforms or online gaming services that are attached with PlayStations and, you know what I'm saying, got them in Xboxes and PC online gaming as well. You know, .com was good. my man Dead said he sent a kite. Oh, don't worry. When he get down the way, they're gonna tear his ass up. You can believe that. But he got an answer to some crimes in Indiana as well, man. This is a very unfortunate situation, man. I'm so sad that this young lady lost her life. You know what I mean? These online streaming platforms like Twitch, you know what I'm saying? You know, they attract young people and, you know, they have global worldwide access to all types of people around the world, and these type of predators, these type of demons that are carousing throughout the unintelligent artificial intelligence networks that is connected to. You know, it's going to be creepy ass people like Tyler here praying You know, I'm talking about praying. I'm talking about lurking. You understand me? Just looking for a vulnerable anything to take advantage of in whatever demonic ways the entities presiding over these people want to do through these people. Understand and then what it takes psychologically for somebody to dismember somebody. Just in case, look up what it means to dismember somebody in case you ain't familiar. Right? Rest in the essence, the young Haley, man. This is crazy, man. Absolutely insane.
9-year-old Tyler Thomas stood silent in court Monday, facing charges related to BUZBEE's disappearance. His attorney telling us Thomas turned himself into authorities on Saturday.
His attorney is Sam. Hold on, let me let you know.
Fully cooperating and informing the FBI and police where the teen's body could be found.
We accompanied law enforcement and the FBI to Perry County, and we assisted with pinpointing the location of Ms. BUZBEE.
Thomas now accused.
The lawyer is Sam Szymanski. Sam Szymanski, a very well-known lawyer in Columbus, Ohio, and around Ohio. You know, very well-known lawyer. Very well-known lawyer. You understand what I'm saying? And yeah, man, he is representing Mr. Thomas, which lets me know Mr. Thomas and or Mr. Thomas's people got some bread. Because Sam Szymanski ain't cheap. You dig. XL Pro, what's happening, man? Sam Szymanski is not a cheap Liberowitz. You're going to come out the pocket for him. I think he requires at minimum $1,000 retainer just to talk to him. But he's got a lot of people off. We're going to see about this one, man. Right, let's go. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page. Rest in the essence to our young sister, man, Haley Buzz.
Of pandering sexual material involving a minor and tampering with evidence, but his attorneys preparing for additional charges.
I can tell you that he will be entering a not guilty plea if and when he's charged with a homicide in this matter, and will proceed accordingly.
Indiana authorities believe BUZBEE died shortly after she was last seen January 5th, where flowers now sit as a memorial to the high school junior. Police say they tracked a vehicle seen in BUZBEE's neighborhood to Thomas, who admitted to picking up BUZBEE after the two met on a gaming app. Court documents say deleted files found on Thomas's phone included video and photos of the teen performing sex acts that was recorded in his Victorian Village home. Papers go on.
Recorded videos of 17-year-old Haley BUZBEE performing sex acts. All right. Now, you know, Haley's a child, 17, but she's intentionally, wittingly, willingly performing in sex acts recorded on videos. Right. That's crazy, but I don't think so. Right. I don't want anybody to be trying to create no narratives or any of that crap stuff, man. This girl is 17 until we find out further information from her family and the police. We're going to keep it that this little girl was a little girl. She done got coerced by this dude. Anything else, we'll find out. But there's just nothing that's leading or alluding to any of that right now. So I'll be seeing people I have seen talk about this, trying to, you know what I'm saying, put in a certain context or a certain narrative, man. Just let this go. If you're going to speak on it, I'm not telling about what you just do what you want, I'm just saying, but speak on it in the context of information that we all know about. Ain't no need to be sitting up here painting no pictures that ain't got no colors for it, man. You know what I'm talking about, man? There's nothing alluding to anything. You know what I'm saying? That's why I erased the title, because I had seen something, but when I had done my due diligence, I said, whoa. There's nothing alluding to this little girl looking at that divestment type of content or any of that. So, you know what I'm saying? I would suggest that anybody did that, I would suggest that you take that type stuff down, because there's nothing suggesting that this little girl was involved with anything to do with that. You know what I'm talking about? So, you know what I'm talking about? You got to be fair as a journalist, man. You got to go off the facts, man. I mean, these kids nowadays, man, Monique Robinson, man, these little girls is easy to talk to online. You know, they're gullible. You know what I'm saying? They already have a rebellious spirit residing within them. You know, and you got to think they're kids at the end of the day. I mean, we like to think that our kids are a little bit more advanced than us, which we automatically assume makes them more mature than us when we were their age, but that's absolutely not true. A 17-year-old is still a 17-year-old. I don't give a damn what type of stuff they getting into. You still a kid, right? And that means you have the mentality of a kid. At 17 years old, you might be doing some stuff that you ain't got no business doing, but that don't mean that you was mature up here. You can still be coerced. You can still be ganged up. You can still be manipulated, especially by somebody that's older than you. Especially if through the indoctrination of, you know, social media, you know what I'm saying, it's cool for young girls to talk to older guys, especially online. And then it starts off online to where these older guys who are creeps come into these spaces where kids is at, and they sit up here and they can hide through the anonymity of not being 39. That could be a kid. This is what I be telling y'all when I talk to y'all about we are being desensitized and preemptively programmed, perceptually prepared for the metaverse. I want y'all to understand how stories like this, as sad and tragic as this is, rest of the essence to Haley BUZBEE. I want y'all to understand how stuff like this, right? Situations like this are going to be used or are being used to perceptually prepare us for the smart grid, the metaverse. Because like in these online gaming apps and streaming platforms, you know, there's no way to tell who is who. You could be chatting with somebody online and you don't know how old they are or what their intentions are, right? And people I mean, listen, man, you got old ladies who get scammed by African scammers on Facebook still to this day, man. Yeah, and that's what it is. That's a major part of what it is, Monique, man. That's a major part of what it is. Leaving your kids unsupervised with access to the internet. I personally don't think children that are 16 and under should not have smartphones. I'm not saying they shouldn't have a cell phone. I'm saying they shouldn't have a smartphone. Children's brains at that age and under, their brains are just not developed enough to be even handling that much sensory overload at their fingertips. That's why kids is wild nowadays, man. As soon as the kid get old enough to walk, y'all shoving a phone in their hand. They can learn how to navigate a smartphone before they even know how to talk or walk. Right? Rest of the essence to Haley. This is so sad, man.
And to say that you stayed in a short-term rental in Hocking County. And after nearly a month of searching for Haley, family now grateful they'll be able to bring her home and give her the proper burial she deserves.
I think it'll really help bring peace to our family, and let us know that she's okay. We'll have her home.
On your side, Steve Levine, ABC 6 News.
So sad, man. So sad, man. My Lord, man.
If you've written a book and want to publish it to over 3 billion potential readers, now is your chance.
And thanks.
Hey, man. Hey, man. Be in your daughter's and your son's ish, man. Be all up in their business, man. Right? I'm talking about checking phones, monitoring online time. Like I said, you ask me personally, a kid 16 and under ain't got no damn business with a smartphone. Their brains is just not developed enough to handle that access to that instantaneous gratification. Their brains are not mature enough. They're not developed enough to handle that. That's a crazy sensory overload. And y'all just be sticking the phone in the kid's hand. Kid be 2, 3 years old, playing with a phone, navigating the phone. Can't even talk or walk, but know how to go to Facebook and Instagram and know how to go to playing games and stuff on the phone. That's wild to me, man. My man did say, on some real ish, we have to inform all our kids to be aware of these goofies via net gang. Yeah, I'm ready to load up. This time is now for us to. Yeah, I'm just saying, man. Listen, y'all gotta be up in y'all kids' stuff, man. What they watching? What you looking at? What you reading? What you playing? What you got going on your phone? Right? If your kids got any social media, man, you should be aware of that. You should know about that. Me personally, I wouldn't allow my children to have access to. I wouldn't allow to social media. My kids wouldn't have no social media, right? Maybe like when they turn like 17 or something like that. Okay, but as of right now, from birth to 16, kids don't need to have access to the internet, or access to social media. I don't even think they should have smartphones, period. Like I said, kids should be allowed to have a smartphone till after they turn 16. Just because their brains ain't even developed enough to handle stuff, everything that comes along with that. Most adults' brains ain't developed enough to handle that stuff. What you think is doing to a kid on them super intense millimeter wave, wavelength frequencies, just like rearranging the whole, genetic structure and altering the genetic structure of their brain. You know what I'm talking about? That instant gratification of click, and then you get the like, and then man, that stuff messes kids' heads up, man. That's why you got little kids offing themselves now more than ever. And you gotta remember, these are children, man. They're easy to be manipulated. Not MySpace. You be coming out the blue with some crazy stuff, man.
Joining us for the news at 10, I'm Howard Monroe. First tonight, a devastating update into the search for a missing 17-year-old out of Fishers.
And so it pains me today to let you know that after an extensive investigation, we feel that Haley is deceased.
Haley BUZBEE disappeared nearly a month ago after getting into a car with a man from Ohio. The search continues for her tonight, and police have taken that man into custody. Fox 59's Russ McQuaid was in the room when investigators gave that update and has more on what led to the arrest.
Haley BUZBEE disappeared late on the night of January 5th, maybe into the morning of January 6th, and Fishers police believe within days she was dead.
Investigators think Haley met a man while on a gaming platform. 39-year-old
I wonder why they're not naming the gaming platform. I'd have looked like 4 or 5 different news outlets talking about this. None of them have identified or said the name of the platform. Now, I don't want to assume that it's Twitch because they didn't say it, but I mean, what other gaming streaming platform could it be outside of Twitch? I know there's other ones, but I think Twitch is probably the most proper one, though. But allegedly, it could be argued. Maybe they'll release that information here recently or shortly. Look at this guy, y'all. Look at this dude, man. Look at this guy, man. Look at his face. Right? He looked like he don't got them all, man. He looked like a guy who be in the crib, got people's heads and torsos in the refrigerator and everything on some straight Jeffrey Dahmer type ish, man. And this guy, man, the eyes never lie. They are vacuous. There's nothing behind there. His eyes look black, damn near. Right? This guy, man. Man, listen here, man. Y'all gotta be on y'all's kids' ass, man. Especially if you got underage children, man. You know, they got way too much access to way too much information, man. It is a sensory overload for kids. Do y'all understand what I mean when I say that? When I say it's a sensory overload for them to have access to the internet, social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Bigo, goddamn it, what's the one joint, the disappearing joints, man? Goddamn it, Snapchat, Discord, Rumble, and whatever low-key other ones that's popping that we don't know about, but all the kids know about. You know, they just got too much access to too much stuff that's triggering the dopamine in their brain, and they're, you know what I mean, all the stuff that they don't really need to even be focused on. You know, sexualized, they're being sexualized. You know, like I said, I'm not putting young Haley in the bad light or nothing, though, but, you know, 17 years old is when, sexual activity amongst that age demographic is exponentially high nowadays. Now, I'm not saying this is about Haley. I'm not saying that she was, because I don't know, but I'm just speaking in general, you know, over, you know, mass majority, right? The thing, and we always got to ask this, is what is going on at home? What is the environment at a house where a little girl has enough freedom, right? Enough time on her own to where she could be online to the point she would even come across something like this, and even not even be like, hey, mom, hey, dad, this creepy guy is coming in our room asking me to meet up with him and stuff like this, versus engaging in conversation with him online. There's a disconnect there, right? We got to talk about it, man. As uncomfortable as it is, man, it always reflects to what's going on at home. Because I'm going to tell you what I would like to think my daughter would do in such a situation. My daughter would immediately alert her mother, and her mother would immediately alert me, right? And we will alert whatever we need to alert to, as far as, you know, whatever platform it may have been, to know that this activity is going on. I would like to think that my daughter, being the very intelligent, ganged up girl, soaking up game from me, her father, that she has, I would like to think that she wouldn't be goofy enough to engage with somebody online to the point where she would actually meet up with them. I honestly don't think my daughter would do that dumbass shit. Jen is too ganged up. She's very reserved. She's not very social. She don't interact with social media a lot like that. She's really not interested in too much for real. I just don't think Jen would go. But you just never know, right? That's why you got, and I feel confident in saying that because I'm involved. I talk to my daughter. We talk about such things. So, you know, I would like to think that Jen would absolutely say something to me if she was playing online games like, you know, Minecraft, and some creepy guy was like trying to get at her in a sexual or meet up with him offline. I'm pretty sure Jen would bring that to me and her mother's awareness. I really believe that, right? Yeah, man. Hey, listen here. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with prevention, man. You know, ain't nothing wrong with our kids having a little bit of fear and apprehension when it comes to such matters like this, man. So because these guys are abound on social engineering, man. These dudes, they know all the spots where the kids hang out at online, and they go there, create profiles, and be on some just creepy stuff, man. You know, we gotta protect our kids, man. And this is also a part of what I'll be talking about when I be talking about HR 1955. The Violent Radicalization and Homegrown Terrorism Prevention Act. Stuff like this. But this guy right here, this Tyler Thomas guy, he's a real predator. He don't need to be, guys like this don't deserve to have the liberty to be out here to do this type of stuff, man. Right? Look at this dude, man. Look at his face, man. Y'all on TikTok and Facebook, y'all go Google this guy, Tyler Thomas, man. Go Google. He's gonna pop up on your Google or top of the man. Look at this dude, man. And the thing you gotta ask yourself is, what was Haley thinking? And when you start to think like that, man, I mean, of course we can sit up here and say, like, yeah, Haley, she was a young lady, 17. I mean, she was underage, but she wasn't a baby. Right? And the first thing that comes to my mind is little fast ass little girl. I'm not afraid to say that. I know plenty of people think that, just ain't gonna say it. Because if she was a properly reared young lady, she would have been notified her parents as soon as something like this transpired. She would have been like, mommy, this daddy, this guy, I don't know, he keeps trying to get me to come up, need him offline, this dude, I think you should, right? But kids nowadays, you know, are access to information, and you know they're being sexualized at early ages in ways that they don't even recognize or understand. And we just give our kids these devices and let them have access to social media and TikTok and and doing dances and shit with them, not realizing the demons we are exposing them to. Y'all know what TikTok stands for, what it means? What's the etymology on the term, the phrase TikTok? I'm gonna do something on that for y'all. I'm gonna break that down for y'all, right? But look at this dude, man. And these type of dudes abound on social engineering, especially in these online gaming spaces, on YouTube, on TikTok, on Bigo, on goddammit, on Facebook, on Instagram, Discord. Yeah, man. Twitch is just, man, right? How many creeps you think is just a lurking in a Kai Cenat Mafia-thon stream? You know what I'm talking about? Think about that, man.
Throughout the investigation, we were able to identify an unknown vehicle that had been in Haley's neighborhood the night she had gone missing. Using technology, our detectives identified
using technology.
Thomas as the suspect she had left with.
The investigation led to Columbus, Ohio, where Fisher's police said Thomas admitted picking up the teen, but lied about dropping her off by the side of the road in Western Ohio.
So she Haley, man, what was you thinking, young lady, man? My Lord. And I can't help but just think, like, what was going on in her house where Haley felt the liberty so she could just be doing that, like she can just get up and just leave the city at 17 years old. We ain't gonna sit up here and act like when y'all was 17, y'all wasn't fast as hell when y'all was 17. Doing very similar stuff, minus the technology with social media and the internet. We cannot not address that. What was Haley thinking? I could just imagine if this was Jen, like, what the fuck was you thinking, Jen? I raised you better than this. You know better than this, right? So it always goes back to what's going on at home. We got to go back to the home when it comes to situations like this. You know, creeps like Tyler Thomas, man, demons like him, they everywhere. They lurking. Right? And not excusing or nothing. I'm just saying, man. But what was the environment at home like to create the mind frame of a 17-year-old girl who would make the decision to do this, engage, interact with a complete stranger from an online gaming platform and engage enough with this person to where you agree to meet up with, man, come on, man. Travel out of state at 17. Right? Tyler Thomas he deserves everything that's going to happen to him and he going to get. But goddamn it, Haley, we got to hold her accountable too. Little girl, what was wrong with you? What was you thinking about, little girl? And it reflects back to the home, man. We got to address mom and dad, man. What's going on at your house, man? Right? That's crazy if that's true too, man. And it's sad because, you know what I'm saying, a whole community is being affected by this. And I've been telling y'all about what stuff like this has, how stuff like this has an effect nationwide. You think little girls who seeing this story across the nation ain't affected by this? Something wrong with you, man. And then you got to ask yourself, what's the point of that, right? And then you got to start using your mind in a wider context, man. Rest in essence to Haley, man. This is so sad, man. This breaks my heart, man. Especially as
The investigation
got a daughter that's close to her age, but basically the same age as this little girl, man.
confirmed Haley to be at the Thomas home in Columbus and at a short-term rental in Hocking County. The Hocking County Sheriff's Office served search warrants for the short-term rental property and coordinated the use of aerial drones, canine, and physical search techniques to try to
aerial drones. Peep what else is going on with stuff like this, man. This is all the more reason to have more technology. This is the more reason to be more invasive on what we doing online. This is more reason to be assigning AI agents so we can monitor what everybody's doing online to prevent creepy ass dudes like Tyler Thomas from getting in contact with our possibly potentially promiscuous and unsupervised at home dysfunctional being raised young ladies like Haley and so many more. I don't know nothing about her mom or dad. I know something ain't right at home to where she felt at liberty that she can conduct herself in this way. Something ain't going on at home because a kid who was raised in a house with some structure, some order, some discipline, yeah, more than likely. Let's go, man.
find Haley. Because of evidence obtained and the statements made by the suspect, the investigation is now moved to recovery efforts.
Police used cell phone and social media data in tracking Haley to Ohio, but are yet to recover any of her personal items. Detectives say they were onto Thomas early in the investigation, and he has been cooperative. Haley was a student at Hamilton Southeastern High School, where resources will be made available to her classmates as her family grieves.
She was a bright light in the family. She was a wonderful big sister. She had a tremendous amount of promise and hope. She was excited about going on to university, and she was an incredible human being.
Thomas makes his first appearance in a court in Franklin County, Ohio, Monday. In Fishers, Russ McQuaid.
My Lord. My Lord. Couldn't even imagine it, man. Couldn't even imagine it, man. It's crazy. So now, peep game, y'all, right? Understand. right?
The FBI is asking for patience as they investigate the disappearance and death of Haley Busbee.
The 17-year-old disappeared last month from Fishers, with the FBI now leading the investigation that started in Indiana and ended tragically across state lines.
Police believe Haley was killed at a short-term rental property in Ohio. 39-year-old Tyler Thomas is charged with pandering, obscenity involving a minor, and tampering with evidence. He is not charged right now with her killing.
But
right? He's not charged with her murder. Right? Now that's very suspect. Right? Because this is alluding to other people being involved. Right? I got a weird feeling about this, man. I got a feeling that this is somehow involving what I talked to y'all about. Y'all remember Chef Boy RTP? What's the deal? It's unsupervised by parents, man. Too much freedom, too much goddamn freedom. That's how it happened. I got a weird feeling about this, y'all, man. Walk with me, man. And I don't know anything about anything because I don't know Haley, I don't know her parents, but just something that's telling me that, remember about a year or so ago when I talked to y'all about most of these cases involving young ladies coming up missing, young boys coming up missing, right? And they're being found in, you know what I'm saying, sex cults, sex rings, you know, people keeping these kids in cages and stuff like that. Yeah, man, this has the stink and the aroma of SRA all over it. What's SRA? Satanic ritualistic abuse. I don't know, but for some reason, I think, I just get the feeling that this is what this case is about. Because when I look at Tyler Thomas, man, when I look in his eyes, I can tell he got some entities presiding over him. You know, I can just see it. And then to y'all who don't think demons are real, then I hope you don't find out how real they are ever. Dan Patrick, what's happening, man? I hope you don't ever have to experience actual encounter with some demons, man, because you'll know that they exist when you do. Trust me. And they are very real. And when stuff like this, you got to understand it's the difference between somebody just you know, accidentally in a car accident, or you know, somebody in, you know, shootout, which can have some demonic presence as well. But when it comes to stuff like this, man, dismembering, putting body parts here and there, taking people from one location to another, it starts to get kind of ritualistic, man. And we start noticing a pattern, and then you start looking into who these people's parents are, who commit these heinous acts. And you go down this, you know what I'm saying, this journey of like, God damn, man, you know, it's not as just like as a random situation such as, you know, the young lady just being coerced, you know what I'm saying? It gets into the realm of possibly she was targeted. You understand what I'm saying? When I say targeted, I don't mean because she was young and wrong. I mean because of who she is. Right? But that's another, you know, that's not enough information has been released for me to come to that conclusion. But I will tell y'all that when I first got privy to this, in my water, just my, you know, my spider sense, if you would. My spider sense start tingling, and it's just the first thing that comes to my mind is SRA, right? Especially when it comes to this dismembering someone, right? There's a difference between somebody just being a thugged out knucklehead who just on some super gang banging crazy types of, you just, you know, offing people. Even when it comes to a serial killer, he's more than likely being presided over by some entities too, he or she. Killing people, and like I said, that's very ritualistic, man. So when things is done in a ritualistic manner, we got to look at things from another perspective, man, because this ain't just somebody just killing people. This might be some spiritual activity involved with this. And that's what I'm saying, Chef Boy RTP, man. You know, these guys get in these spaces, you know, and they be cunning and clever. These young girls is already goofy and impressionable because they've been connecting and interacting and engaging with each other through these devices. So their inhibitions is low, their awareness is low, their ability to, you know what I'm saying, use their cognitive skills are very much impaired due to the access to, man, listen, y'all got to understand what this type of stuff does to the developing brain, man. Yeah, I appreciate that, Monique Robinson. Yeah, man, Chef Boy. Well, that go for me too, Chef Boy, man. I gotta, you know, we're trying to clean it up over here. I gotta watch it for myself. You know what I'm talking about? I gotta watch the cursing for me too. So, you know what I'm talking about? I appreciate, you know what I'm saying, you saying that, Monique, because that just remind me I gotta watch my language, man. It's difficult, man, especially when it comes to stuff concerning children, man. It's difficult, man. Because we like to think that our children are our most prized possessions and resources. Well, let me correct that, because our kids aren't our possessions. We don't own our children. Let me take that back, right? Let me take that back, right? But our children are our, you know what I'm saying, they're the apples of our eyes. They're, you know what I'm saying, you know, reflections and pieces of ourselves. You know, it's our duty to protect them, man. You know, so we like to think, you know what I'm saying, when we allow them to have access to the internet and social media, that they're going to be responsible with it. But the actuality of the situation is that they just more than likely are not. Right? You know? It's crazy, man. But I got to say, as a father, man, my daughter is basically the same age as her, man. You know, I just be like, man, like what was she thinking, man? Like, and as a father, like I gotta say, as a father, I gotta think back, like this is a reflection of what's going on at home, man. Like, 'cause I can't imagine a father who's involved to any extent in their daughter's life at 17. I can't imagine a situation to where, you know what I'm saying, if you is any type of influence on her in her life, leading her and guiding her in any way, be an example of a man and manhood and masculinity for her. I can't imagine her doing something like this, right? But then again, I also understand how young and impressionable a 17-year-old girl can be, especially with having access to social media and the internet. And I can understand how it could happen. We all would like to think it wouldn't happen with our daughter, and we would like to think that we instilled the, you know, right things in her to where she wouldn't even do something like this. But at the same time, man, man, it's crazy, man. And you know, the worst thing that, you know what I'm saying, because at the same time, being a father, I don't want to like vilify or criminalize Haley in any way, because after all, she is a young lady. But at the same time, man, we got to be honest about how we know these young ladies and young men to be nowadays. They carry switches, they gang, they out here catching hats, they out here busting it open, they out here prostituting themselves at a young age. Yeah, all of that. We got to keep that in mind. Now, I'm not saying that Haley was involved with any of that, because I just don't know, right? But what we do know is that a young 17-year-old girl, seemingly intelligent, seemingly smart, happy young lady, somehow was allowed herself to be coerced into meeting up with some strange dude she met on a gaming platform online. It's a disconnect somewhere there. There's some failure somewhere on the parents' part at some point, right? And this is another reason why I be telling y'all about HR 1955. The internet is the #1 tool that is used to be spreading ideologically based violence, violent radicalization, and therefore promoting the possibility of homegrown terrorists and homegrown terrorism. Right? So when you think about stuff like that and this legislation for that, man, you got to understand that stuff like this is, it's very unfortunate that the young lady lost her life, man. But I look at stuff like this as the system willing to sacrifice Haley in order to get certain agendas across, like heavy monitoring on the internet. What better way to get them to get us to go along with assigning everybody an online AI agent so we can prevent stuff like this, so little girls can't worry, we ain't gotta worry about our daughters being coerced by people coming online with their creepy demonic selves. Now we're going to have to worry about the unintelligent artificial intelligence creating and interacting with our. So if the humans have stopped doing it, who's to say that the unintelligent artificial intelligence ain't doing it right now or won't do it in the future? Y'all got to understand what's going on, man. You hear me? And this is a sad situation right here, for real, man. Like, for real. It is very disturbing, man, Dan Patrick. It is very disturbing. Just think, this demonic, possessed fool coerced this young lady offline who already probably come from a traumatic environment, dysfunctional environment, which makes her susceptible, because I'm pretty sure she's dealing with the generational demons of her mother and her. Man, y'all got to understand how deep this stuff goes. So she's easily coerced online by this guy. He manipulates her into leaving Indiana, basically Indianapolis, which is roughly about two and a half hours away from Columbus, 3, whatever you will do, depending on traffic or whatever. Right? Takes her to Hocking County, which is not too far from here. Hocking Hills is where they got all the cabins and all that stuff out there. It's actually a dope spot to go, you know what I'm saying, on some like romantic couple type stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Go to Hocking Hills, you get the Lincoln cabin and all that, you get the Tuscarawas cabin and all of that. I ain't never been, but I heard about it. I heard it's nice, right? And then comes back to Columbus with her dismembered body. Or dismember her in Hocking Hills, comes back to Columbus after doing that. They find the dismembered body in Hocking Hills and they pick him up in Columbus. He has a property in Columbus. Right? And if I'm not mistaken, the like it was in the same neighborhood where those two people just was found in my city. The dentist and his wife got bodied. Look like it's in the same neighborhood in the short north, Italian Village area. Right? So sad, man. So sad, man. You know, be in your daughter's stuff, man. Be all up in they Kool-Aid, man.
Investigators say that Thomas led them to Haley's remains and confessed to burying them. They say the two met online, and investigators share this case is complicated and will take time.
In a statement from the FBI, they say in part the investigation is being driven by the pursuit of justice for Haley due to the many locations and jurisdictions involved, as well as the ongoing nature of the investigation. There is not a timeline for when more information can be released.
Thomas is due in court again next Tuesday.
My Lord.
The FBI is asking for
This is so sad, man. Prayers to her family, man. Seriously, man, this is crazy. Right? Yeah, man, I got a feeling that this case is way more to this case than, you know, what meets the eye, man. I got a feeling that Tyler Thomas is somebody who we should be definitely looking at. I think that, you know, we might need to look into his background, see who his mama and his daddy is, man. You know, see who his peoples are, who his people's affiliated with, right? Yeah, she was a very pretty young, and that's what I'm saying, man. These, man. This is just wild to me, man. Because I'm like I said, man, I can't help but like I say, I'm a father, man. I can't help but think, like, what the hell was that little girl thinking, man? What's going on in her head? What made her think that that was okay? What made her think that she had the liberty to do that? What was going on? What was the environment at home to where she felt like, yes, man, I'm gonna forget what my mom and dad talking about. I ain't gonna tell them. I'm talking to this dude online, whatever. I'm about to go leave the city at 17, y'all, man. Right? Most 17-year-olds know better than to leave the city, let alone the state. Right? Yeah, man. You heard about this, Tammy, man? Oh, I'm about to drop the link, man. Anybody want to come up and speak on this, man? You know what I'm saying? Y'all more than welcome to, man. We got to, man, listen. I keep telling y'all, man, this is stories like this, man. Stories like this is the reason why they talking about enacting in you know what I'm saying, you know what I mean, HR 1955 protocols, man. You know, think about that, man. How listen to this. This is prime PRS, problem, reaction, solution. The Hegelian dialectic, right? Think about what I'm saying if y'all familiar with George Hegel, right? We want to get to a point where everything online is being monitored by the artificial intelligence. That way we can track and trace and surveil everybody at all times in real time. How do we go about doing that, right? Okay, let's create situations to where these platforms can just attract the most heinous of people to these platforms and to engage and interact with underage people who we also allow to have access to these platforms. What better environment to create, right? So you can then say, okay, well, this stuff is happening. You know, we got little girls being coerced by creepy guys like Tyler online. Hey, how are we going to prevent that? Because we all like, man, this can't keep happening. This ain't the first time something like this has happened. It's the first time something like this in particular has happened, but it's not the first time that a young lady has lost her life due to being coerced to some creepy dude who's loaded up to be her father online. Ain't gonna be the first time, ain't gonna be the last time, unfortunately. But what could be done to prevent such a thing from happening again? What could possibly be done? How do you prevent something like this from happening? Everybody gets assigned an AI agent. That way, as soon as you come online, a whole system is alerted that you are now online and it's being archived. And the funny thing about it, Monique, is they archive the slaves in a very similar way, right? Yeah. Don't let that bake your noodle, as the Oracle said, man. A very similar way, right? On the 1800 side. That's another topic for another day, though. But yeah, though, man. This is all the more reason for everybody to get a digital ID. This is all the more reason for people to have Neuralink chips implanted in them, so we can track and trace everybody's online presence and movement while they're online. That way, there's no way that you can be anonymous while interacting and engaging online, no matter where you are in the world. Y'all gotta peep the play. It's just sad that people like Haley, our young sister, gotta be, I guess you can say to some extent, sacrificed. And I think that's very sad, man, personally. I think that's very sad, man. Right? I think that's very sad, man. For real. You know. The link is in the chat. If anybody want to come up real quick, I got a few more minutes before I get up out of here. Y'all can come up and spit your game, talk your ish. Matter of fact, wait till later on tonight. Because later on tonight, I know, some of y'all probably done see the post for it. Hey, listen, man. Rest in the essence to Haley, man. This is so sad. I'm so sad this little girl lost her life, man. Although as a father, I got questions, and I'm pretty sure Haley, to some degree, played a part in what happened to her. We have to get to a point, man. We have to be able to admit that. We have to realize that. We have to recognize that and say that at some point, and to some extent, Haley is responsible, man, for what happened to her, man. Right? Yeah, man. And like I said, and that's a good question, Monique, what you asking, right? Or Tammy, I'm just saying that's a great question. And the answer to that is, right, they allow stuff like this to happen clearly. I want y'all to get in the mind frame of, and I know it's kind of odd thing to do, is to put yourself in a mind frame of thinking like this, man. But I'm telling you, man, even the Most High told you to think like a serpent. Don't think as a serpent, but think like one. Understand the difference. You got to put yourself in the mind frame of how these demons work, man. How they think, how they move, man. You know? Young Haley, unfortunately, is expendable to these people in order to get agendas across. Because I can't think, because people behind this stuff, they already talking about Haley BUZBEE, Haley's Law. Don't y'all know that already? It ain't even been a week. We don't even know the ins and outs of the outs of the ends. We ain't got all the information surrounding this case, and they're already talking about a Haley's Law. Yup. Yeah. And the key word is think like a serpent, not as a serpent. Understand that? So sad, man. Rest in essence to this young girl, man. I'm about to get up out of here, y'all, man. Listen, man, I appreciate everybody coming out, tapping in on this little impromptu show. I wanted to talk about this, man, because this is crazy, man. And I know it's a lot of us out there who got little daughters that's her age, man, or close to it. And, they got smartphones and they got access to the internet and social media. And, this is going to put everybody on 10 right here, man. But this is also opportunity for them to impose HR 1945 protocols even more than what they already are, to put the gas. Like, okay, because now we at the point to where we like this, like I said, the Hegelian dialectic. It's okay. We have a goal that we want to achieve. We know the people ain't going to go along with it if we just outright. So what we're going to do, we're going to create the situations where certain things could possibly potentially come about. So when things like this happen, right, we can say, oh, well, we got a couple ideas, because the people are going to do what? This is happening again to this extent on this situation. Something must be done. We can't take this anymore. What are y'all going to do about it? Oh, yeah? How about these AI agents? Everybody get a digital ID. So everybody's presence online, whenever they go online, is tracked and traced and archived and monitored and surveilled. What about our privacy at that point then? Right? You got to start. I want y'all to start putting y'all's mind frame into that type of thinking, man. Rest in the essence to Haley, man. Very unfortunate, man. But watch the legislation. Listen, it ain't even been a week, y'all. It hasn't been a week, and they already talking about Haley's law. Now, what y'all think Haley's law is going to apply to? How we interact and engage with each other online. Right? I'm telling y'all, man, it's getting wild out here, man. You know? Listen here, man. God damn, man. Rest in the essence to the young SISTREN, man. So unfortunate, man. So unfortunate, man. But later on the night, we definitely having a conversation for ladies' night. You know what I mean? I want y'all to tap in later on the night because we gonna get to it, Jack. This is what we're gonna be discussing tonight, ladies, man. Tap in, man. Get your popcorn, get your wine. You know what I'm talking about? Preferably some Art Vino. About to order some more. We got the pop-up coming up Saturday. We're going to have the Art Vino, the donates on deck. Y'all come get y'all samples, buy a couple bottles, tap in, support your brethren, your brothers, man. Shout out to my brother King Els. You dig? 7 women shall take hold of one man. Ladies, I know y'all feel some type of way about that. Oh, we going to talk about it tonight. That's the ladies' night conversation, man. You know what I'm talking about? Make sure y'all sit up there and tap in later on the night, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You did? Yeah, we're going to get straight to it, man. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. And we absolutely going to do it like we used to it, you know? Dang, God, man, this is sad with little Haley, man, for real, man. Like, God damn, man. I feel like I got to play my joint by my brother Lil Flip right now, man. Sheesh. Man, I feel like this song is in need right here, man.
You have it listen,
you know,
you type it in, and then you go.
May the Most High God,
You literally just drag it in. It'll be an audio clip.
Understanding, man, being peace and healing, man. Hey, see y'all later on the night, man.
That'll be $15.
Don't worry about it. I got you.
Shout out to my brother Flip for making this song, man.
And don't forget, God got us out. You welcome.
I was the bridge to y'all problems, but y'all took me for granted. We traumatized in the hood, dog. Look at the damage. I've been grinding my whole life. I ain't nothing like you. It's 24 hours in the day. You ain't got nothing to do. I sacrificed my show money just to bring y'all around. Y'all was holding me back instead of holding me down. Y'all be talking behind my back, but in my face, you my brother. But you'll never know my pain until you lose your mother. This whole industry is fake. I wish we spent more time. I blew the brains out the coop. That mean I lost my mind. My reality is I can dictate my salary. Think about it. Only bad came to those who challenged me. Yeah, Jesus walked and Jesus wept. He walking with me. I see the steps. The pandemic came. We barely made it through. I'm a living testimony of what God can. When your pockets get low and your bills stacking up and the hours that you put in, it ain't add up. God got us all, man. God got us all. Look, I've been there. I done that. The battle with the devil I wonder, 'cause God got us all. God got us all. To all the people in Jackson, Mississippi with bad water, I just sent a truckload of clean H2O. God got us when it feel like adversity start to win. They say when you rap about God, it take away from your spin. Okay, well I hope it take away from my sins. I'm signed to me, so my whole record label go win. One of my partners going through it, I'm gonna show him the way. And when I help, this ain't the type of stuff I throw in your face. I got a gift they love flip, cause I done carried the cross. I'm watching out for Jezebels trying to marry the boss. My granny had me in the church, I praise God for work. And I don't claim to be perfect, I still get my dirt. Yeah, Jesus walks and Jesus loves. Put the guns down, you need a hug. Protect your mental health, that bring inner wealth. God protect me from these demons. I need you. When your pockets get low and your bills stacking up, and the hours that you put in, it ain't add up. God got us all. God got us all. Look, I've been there, I've done that. The battle with the devil, I won that. 'Cause God got us all. God got us all. I know he got us.
What's that, Instagram? You're out over there. No more, no show up tomorrow. You get your check on Friday. That's it.
God's got us all. Every day, every way. God's got us all.